Hey everybody, it's Tall Trey Comedy here with another episode of Comedy Manners, and I am joined by
Azalea Renee
and our special guest,
Vasco Sanders.
Woo!
And today we are talking about writing.
It's gonna be a fun one.
We gonna see.
Let's do it. So sit back, relax, and let's learn a little something about writing.
Hey everybody, we are here and we're going to talk about the writing process. But before we get into that, let's talk about the king of callback, the movie star himself, Vasco Sanders.
That's me. What's going on, fella?
How's it going?
Man, rough on this side.
Fucking feels.
I said you want my look. Got buzzer look. Can't kill me, won't then die.
Well, what got you into the comedy business?
Okay, me going to comedy is a long story, so it all depends on what you believe in. You know, I grew up a Baptist. That's what I grew up as, yes. So a couple of nights would pass and I was laying in bed. I couldn't sleep. So this went on for like two, three months. So one day I got to work and I got all this equipment just going back and forth and I said, oh, what you want? You keep bothering me. What do you want? And believe it or not, everything just went silent. And I just saw a big light. And I saw myself on stage with a microphone. And I'm like, what you want me to do? I stand-up comedy. I said, I don't know how to do that. I've never done it before. I don't know how. I heard a voice come to me. And it said, I gave you everything you need. That was it. That was enough for me. So I called and I found me a comedy class, and the rest is history.
Oh, nice. Which comedy class you do?
I went to the one at the Laughing Skull.
Okay.
I learned up on the Plug Chapman.
Okay.
Plug Chapman, yeah. So that was like a 6-week class because what I want to do, I want to get the basics. You know, because I had never been to a comedy show nor club before I seen that little epiphany or the vision or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So I've seen comedians. I was fond of comedians, but I didn't know the process of getting there. You know, so the rest is history.
Yeah, you came to Reboot, crushed it.
That seemed like so long ago, though. That seemed like so long ago. Because actually, that's another thing. I have to thank you because it was at one point where I was just because nobody would put me on. It's nowhere from our hometown, as you know, that people does this. No, they don't do it here. And somebody told me, they said, get in touch with Tall Trey. I said, who? They say Tall Trey. And then I called you, and you say, yeah, come down and Reboot.
Yep. That's where Reboot's such a proving ground. Like, I truly hope everybody gets famous so we can just all go back. Be like, yeah, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, Reboot and you changed the game for me. You know, I know no big name comedians or whatever, you know, but they're big time, so they don't have time for nobody small that's never been on stage. You know, so I owe you a lot.
I ain't big time, but the closest form of immortality we ever get is teaching somebody something.
Yeah.
Because then our words outlive us.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge proponent of that. That's why we started doing this. So we're just pushing and trying to teach people.
Yeah, but you know what? Like I said, I had never touched the microphone. Matter of fact, I still get nervous. You know, but once I touch the microphone and I get that first joke out, man, I'm good. I'm at home now.
Oh yeah, that stage adrenaline can cure everything.
I'm at home now. You know, but like I say, I tell people all the time, they're like, "How do you do it?" I say, you know, when you have a passion for something and a calling for something, you know, it don't matter if one person in the crowd if a mouse is there with you. That's your passion, and your passion will drive you to do anything. You know, and that's what comedy is to me. You know, I mean, everybody like different comedians or different types of comedy or whatever. You know, so once you find that realm of what you like, man, it's like the door just open up for you.
Well, speaking of the comics we found and we liked, who do you feel is your Mount Rushmore? Your top 4 comics?
Okay, top 4. My top 5 is crazy because it's so hard to explain because I don't like the comedians that you see on television and all that. They're good, they're great, but I like the local. People that I can actually put my hands on, people that actually mean something to that changed the game for me. So my first person on my Mount Rushmore list, that's what you call it, will always be Red Fox. Mm-hmm. That is my number one. That is my guy. I can listen to Red Fox all day long. Now my second is kind of complicated because I like all those comedians that's gone, that's passed. Like Bernie Mac, Paul Mooney, George Carlin. I like those comedians. So I just can't pick just one comedian. I have to put all of those in the same boat because they're gone. I don't want to forget about them. So all of those that's past and present, and he's not, they're not dead or whatever. But I have to put Eddie Murphy, and even now, even like Kevin Hart, because to me now they're not comedians; they're movie stars.
I mean, you can do both. George Carlin was on Thomas the Tank Engine,
most definitely, but you hardly see them on stage.
That's true.
You hardly see them on stage. So I don't. I mean, Kevin Hart you do, but like Eddie Murphy and you don't see him on stage like that. So I put them in that realm of being on. Even though they're not gone, they're just not doing stand up like that anymore. Yeah. Which I understand that totally. Then my number 3 is people somebody that y'all might even know, but this guy means he means a lot to me, and his name is Williams. Can he call his name? I see your face, but damn, what's his name?
Williams.
Oh, I hit that. Oh, I'm sorry.
How about Cat Williams?
No. I just talked to him. Shit. I just talked to him. Williamson, J.J. Williamson.
Oh, okay.
I just talked to him. Yeah, please. I just talked to him. J.J. Williamson. That cat. I just love his comedy style. Because he has this voice that like he's tongue tied, but he was able back in the day to just grasp my attention.
Well, it's that stage presence.
Yeah. And like my number 4, which some people may think it is crazy, and it would be Michael Collier. That's because when I first started actually listening to comedy, and I seen Michael Collier on television, and he was talking about how he was homeless and how he gave he won $1 million for Star Search. He gave it to the homeless. I'm like, okay, who is this guy? Like I said, I knew who comedians were, but I didn't know anything about comedy. And my number 5 is a guy right up in Atlanta. And I love this dude. I just hit him up the other day, talked to him, and his name is Mario Torre. Those are my Mount Rushmore. I mean, I don't know about nobody else, but I like to be able to call the people that I like, on mine. And it's just so many comedians out there, but like I say, that's just mine.
Hey, everything is subjective, and these are the comics that shaped us.
Yeah. But like I said, that's a lot of locals, comedians out there that I also love too. And then I hate to just say, well, they're not good, because they're great. You got like Erica Duchess, K-Dub, and once again Plug Chapman. You got people like that. I really look up to Steve Brown. Mr. Lab Love, Marvin Hunter. I look up to all of these guys. So it's just hard for me to give a top 5. It's just hard. And anybody can give a top 5. I tilt my hat to you. I can't. Because I always feel like you're leaving somebody out.
Yeah, we definitely don't try that. We try and bring everybody in, bring everybody together. Speaking of shows, because you've been all up and down the Southeast, what's your best show and what's your worst show so far?
Oh, man. My best show had to be at Magooby's in Baltimore. I think that was my best show. I mean, it was like 21, 23 comics was a comedy competition, and I came in second place.
That's hard to do from out of town.
Yeah, from out of town, you know. So I mean, people are technically, it's a long story, but I still won. You know, but that was my best show because it lets me know that I can go anywhere and still hang with anybody. You know, so that meant a lot. Yeah, you know, even coming in second place, whatever, out of 21, 23 comics, man, that was a ball. And you only get 5 minutes to do your best. Well, actually, you get 7. You know, but since I was new, and I didn't bring anybody because it was bring a show. You know, I only got, but I had the people that actually brought a lot of people clapping for me. You know, so.
Well, regional marketability is a very important thing, and you have people like Gabriel Iglesias, who was dubbed Tex-Mex comic, and he just was around the South, Texas, that area, you know, and he went and did it in some Cincinnati, you know, somewhere where it's just not his demographic, and still killed. And he's like, look, I can do it, because being funny to one group, cool. You know where you're getting paid. Yeah. Be funny to everybody.
I agree.
Be marketable.
Yeah, I agree. And that, you know what? When I first met you, you told me that. And every time that I write a joke or I try to tell a joke, I think about what you said. Be marketable. You know, so that's why if you actually see one of my shows or you actually listen to me, you'll see how I veer off a little bit, but I always come back and I try to do something to make what I just said stick with you. Even if it's a catchphrase, I try to make that marketable.
Well, yeah, and I forget if it was Socrates or Plato, but if you want to educate them, you must first keep them entertained. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know? Like, we went to school. Which teachers do you remember? The ones that keep you engaged.
Yes. Oh, the one that whooped me.
That was illegal in our day.
Oh, the one that whooped me, yeah.
As long as you had your safe word.
I guess we're out. They stopped.
All right, and what is your worst show?
I think one of my worst shows was a place in Atlanta. And it was at a bar. And maybe 10, 15 people in there. And I only made 2 people laugh. Because the rest of the people was actually looking at the game. I mean, but this was when I first started. So I think I was like the first month in of comedy. You know, and that would do something to you. You know, that was my worst show. Just starting out, that was pretty much my worst show because I'm like, man, I'm not cut out for this. You know, but.
Are you sure it's not one of the rec shows?
What's the rec show?
Oh, you never went to one of the rec shows?
What's that?
So I had this room because a friend of mine had moved somewhere. He's like, hey, man, I found you a new gig. It's this bar. They're super excited for it. It's an Irish pub. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I drove up to this middle of nowhere place called Rex, Georgia. There's one bar in this town, right? And everybody's at it. Like, you got MARTA people, you got good old boys, you got thugs, you got strippers. Like, everybody's at this one bar because there's only one bar. You do not get to do material. It is nothing but crowd work, and you're going to earn every laugh you get. And it was, I called it Lil Apollo. Like,
really?
It was wild. Like, one time I was there, and you know, they're like, oh, you do comedy. T.I. does comedy. I know him. And I'm like, fuck T.I. That man needs to listen to the damn light or book his own show. You're taking time away from other comics. Didn't read the room at all. And apparently, like, she was a stripper for T.I. And they are loyal as fuck.
Damn.
And she told me off this way, that way. And I'm like, listen, honey, here's my card. I ain't scared. Never heard shit. So,
wow.
But yeah, no, that show was wild. You ever get the chance, ask Tucker about it.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I remember seeing flyers with you had, and it said Rex, Georgia. Matter of fact, I asked you about it one time, and you told me I see, but I don't think you want to go